The mansion was too quiet, the kind of quiet that pressed down on Yu's chest and made it hard to breathe. Carts moved fast across the marble halls, their boots echoing sharply, radios cracking with urgent calls. Something was wrong. Yu sat by their window, her hands trembling as she pulled the curtains aside. The courtyard below was lit brightly, carts forming a circle in the center. Her heart dropped when she saw who was inside. Her brother, her sister-in-law, both were on their knees, hands tied behind their backs. Her lips parted in shock, her blood freezing in her arms. Why are they here? She thought, desperately pressing her palm to the glass. For a second, her chest filled with relief. Family. Maybe they had come to save her. Maybe she was not completely abandoned after all. But then her brother's expression reached her like a knife. There was no fear in his eyes, no desperate courage to protect her. There was greed. Taehyung stepped into view, his black coat flowing around him, his aura heavy with command. His face was unreadable, eyes sharp as blade. He looked at you, brother, the way one looked at a rat catch in a trap. What do you want? Taehyung's voice was low, smooth, and deadly. Her brother straightened his jaw, lifted arrogantly, even on his knees. I know you have my sister. I don't care about what you do with her, he said bluntly, his tone steady. But if you want me silent, if you want me gone, give me money, a large amount. She was my sister, but his lips twisted in a cruel smirk. Everything has a price. Your jaw shattered. Her nails buckled as she pressed harder against the cold glass. No, please don't say that. But your sister-in-law realized her mistake and she gasped and filled the courtyard. She turned to him horrified. Are you insane? That's your own blood. She's just a girl, your sister. How can you? Shut up, he barked at her, his face twisting in irritation. You never understood. She was only a burden to us. Now at least she can bring me something in return. Tears blood Yu's vision. She wanted to scream, to bang against the glass, to beg him to stop, but her throat locked, the words choking inside her chest. Taehyung had tightened slightly, a slow, cold smile touching his lips. His gun gleamed under the courtyard lights. So that's it, he said, his tone dripping with mockery. You come here into my home not to save her, but to sell her. You want me to pay you for the right to keep what is already mine. Her brother didn't flinch. Exactly, you are powerful, Kim Taehyung. You can afford it. The stillness that followed was suffocating, guards tightening their grips on their weapons, but no one moved. The world seemed to hold its breath. Taehyung's smile varnished, his hand moved faster than Yu's eyes could follow. The gun should explode through the courtyard. Yu clapped a trembling hand over her mouth, a muffled scream escaping. Tears splashed hot down her cheeks as she stared in disbelief. Her brother wiped his head towards the lifeless body beside him, shock breaking across his face. What have you done? Taehyung stepped closer, his shadow falling over him like a curse. He crouched down, his voice was whisper meant to slice. That woman still had a conscience. She saw your greed for what it was, and for that his eyes gleamed like steel. She deserved a cleaner, and that you ever will. Her brother bravado fluttered. Fear cracked through his expression as he tried to crawl back. What? Ropes cutting against his wrist. No, wait, I can make another deal. The barrier of the gun pressed against his forehead, slicing him instantly. Yu's nails stuck into the stone balcony, her body trembling violently. She wanted to scream, to rush down, to throw herself between them, but her body was frozen. her legs burning, her voice lost. Taehyung words enjoyed through the night, sharp and final. A brother who said his sister is no brother at all. The dragon Bull's world collapsed. Her brother's body slumped lifelessly beside his wife's, blood soaking into the courtyard. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the pounding of Yu's heartbeat in her ears. No, she whispered, her knees giving way beneath her. She collapsed onto the cold marble floor of her balcony, her sobs raw and shaking. No, no, no. Below, Taehyung straightened his gun lower with calculated calm. He gave no sign of guilt, no flicker of hesitation, only cold dominance. "Clean this mess," he ordered, his voice carrying like thunder across the courtyard. Guards rushed forward, lifting the bodies with practiced efficiency, varnishing them into the night. But then Taehyung lifted his gaze upwards. "You frozen there," eyes met. Her body locked, fear slicing through her chest. His expression was not anger, it was not regret, it was possession, dark and merciless, as if he had ripped away her last ties to the outside world just to make sure she belonged only to him. Her hands trembled violently as she scrambled backward into her room, pressing her spine against the wall, her heart humming like it wanted to burst from her ribs. She was alone now. Her family, her blood was gone, and Taehyung had made sure of it. The mansion roared with order, security, double doors slammed shut, radios buzzed, the empire tightened like a cage around her. "But you, heart, none of it," she said, trembling in the corner of her room, her tears falling endlessly. The image of her brother's greedy face and his lifeless body burned forever into her mind. Yu's body will not stop shaking. Her palms were damp with sweat, her throat raw from muffled cries. She curled against the cold wall of her room, nails torn up to her chest as if the stone would swallow her wall and protect her from the nightmares outside. Her brother's face replayed in her mind again and again, his greedy eyes, his last shocked breath, then the sharp sound of the gun. The image burned her loud, then the thunder outside, darker than the night pressing against the windows. Her tears burned in the room into shadow. Her chest rose and fell too quickly, and every breath felt shallow and complete. The air refused to fill her lungs. Then it happened. Her body would not take it anymore. Her vision spun. The walls seemed to bend and melt, and the floor rushed up to meet her. She collapsed, the world dissolving into black. When you opened her eyes again, the air felt heavier. Warmth surrounded her, but it was not safe. It was suffocating. Her lashes fluttered open, and she realized she was not on the floor anymore. She was in someone's arms. Taehyung, his black shirt brushed against her cheek, his chest steady and unyielding as he carried her like a fragile doll. The dumb scent of gunpowder and rain clenched to him. Her breath catched, every muscle in her body tense. She wanted to struggle to push him away, but her limbs were weak. Her body trembled too violently. He looked down at her, and for the first time since the massacre below, he smiled. It was not gentle, it was kind, it was terrifying. "See," his voice was low, husky, and frightening calm. "Now you understand. No one can protect you. No one deserves you, only me." Her lips trembled. You killed them." His grip on her tightened, pulling her close against his chest. His eyes darkened, that fleeting smile gone. "No, they killed themselves. Your brother sold you. Your sister-in-law stood beside his greedy. I only gave them what they deserve." You shook her head violently, tears falling apart. "And they were my family." "Family," he suffered, towering above her. "A family that will trade you like a coin. A brother who tried to sell your innocence to me as if you were merchandise, his jaw clenched, fury flickering across his face. They were not family, they were filth. You flinch as he leaned closer, pressing his hands on either side of her, trapping her in his breath, cautious against her skin, his eyes locking her in place. "Look at me," he ordered, her lips pressed shut, her head turning away. His hand snapped out, grabbing her chin, forcing her gaze back to him. His touch was firm, rough but not enough to burst, yet the dominance it made her whole body freeze. "I said," his voice dropped to a whisper, lethal and possessive. "Look at me." Her wide eyes met his. Her heart pounded so loudly she thought he would hear it. Taehyung's gaze softened just slightly, though it was no comfort. His tongue brushed away a tear, rolling down her cheek. Though his eyes never lost that terrifying intensity. "They are gone," he said quietly, "and now nothing stands between us. You are mine entirely. Nobody tries, no excuses, just mine." Your lips parted, a broken sob escaping. She pushed weakly at his chest. "I hate you," she whispered, through her voice cracking for a moment. Silence. Then he giggled low, dark, filled with something unreadable. "Could," he murmured, his forehead lowering until it nearly touched hers. "Hate me, fear me, as long as you only think of me." Her stomach twisted, his nearness made her dizzy, her body screaming to get away even as her limbs betrayed her, too weak to fight. She closed her eyes tightly, willing herself to disappear, to wake up from this endless nightmare. "You will see, Angel," he whispered, almost tender despite the quality in his tone. "Soon you will cry for them. You will cry, only cry for me." Her sobs broke harder, her body curled on the bed. Taehyung stood, his shadow heavy against her. He adjusted the blankets over her trembling form, a gesture almost trembling care. Through his touch carried the weight of chains. "You are safe," he said softly, but the words felt like a cage closing around her. Then he stepped back, his eyes never leaving her. Guard's voice joined friendly outside as the mansion lockdown grew tighter. You turned her face into the pillow, muffling her cries. She was shaking so badly it hurt, her throat burning with grief. Her brother was dead, her sister-in-law was dead. And the man responsible tucked her into bed like a child, her captor, her tomorrow, her only one left. As her body trembling itself into exhaustion, darkness pulled her under again. The last thing she heard was the young voice whisper against the silence, "Mine, always mine." The mansion didn't feel like a home anymore. It was quiet, but not a normal kind of quiet. It was heavy, almost alive. The walls seemed to hold secrets. The cameras watched without blinking. Even the guards walked more carefully now, as if they were afraid to make noise. You felt that silence inside her chest. It followed her everywhere. Taehyung had turned the house into a prison. The windows were locked, the doors guarded, and meals were left in her room by strangers. She was not allowed to step outside without permission. Her world had become smaller, just her bed, the hall, and the sound of footsteps that reminded her she was never truly alone. And always Taehyung's eyes were on her. Sometimes he sat across the room watching in silence. Sometimes he came close enough that she could feel his warmth. He studied her like something rare, something he had claimed. "You are quiet," he said. Once finding her by the window, his voice was soft but sharp at the edge. "You barely eat." Her lips trembled. I can't make it stop." He leaned forward. "Case study, I told you. I will protect you. I will not let anyone what is mine. Grief takes time, but you will survive because I will not let you fall apart." The words hurt, but they also carried a strange comfort. "I don't want your protection," she whispered. "I want my family." His jaw tightened, but his words lowered. "They chose themselves, but I choose you." The words wrapped around her like chains. They frightened her, and still they made her heart beat faster. That evening, Taehyung's mother watched from the balcony below. You walked slowly in the garden. Her face looked pale, her steps weak. The girl seems too innocent, too gentle to live in a place like this. The older woman's heart hurt. She doesn't belong in chains. She is a good. And my son has become a man who catches what he loves. When Taehyung looked up and met his mother's eyes, he saw disappointment. For the first time in years, guilt touched him. The next morning, a doctor arrived for Yu's checkup. Taehyung stood close, arms folded, eyes sharp. The doctor spoke politely, placed his stethoscope on Yu's chest, then adjusted it, but his eyes dropped just for a second to her legs. It was enough. Taehyung saw it. Without warning, he pulled his gun and fired. The loud crack filled the room. The doctor fell before the tray of instruments hit the ground. Yu grasped her hands, flew to her mouth, shock freezing her. Taehyung lowered his gun slowly, his face calm. He turned to her, and his voice was almost gentle. "No man looks at what is mine." His hand still warm from the trigger cuff her cheek. "You belong only to me." The blood on the floor made her want to scream, but his touch, soft, steady, confused her more. How could Tinker feel like safety? The nightmares come again. She dreamed for her brother of the courtyard of blood that would not leave her mind. She woke up crying, shaking. Taehyung was already there. His arm is wrapped around her. His thumb brushed her tears. His voice was low, close to her ear. "Tell me the dream," he whispered. "They dry hour and hour. I can't stop seeing it." For a moment, something rough flickered across his face. Then it was gone. He held her hand, his thumb brushing in slow circle over her skin. "Your breath because of me," he said. "You live because I choose it, and I will kill the world before I let anyone take you away." The words were terrifying, yet his touch was soft. She hated that part of her, almost believed him. Later, his mother came to him. "You can kill anyone you want," she said quietly, "but you can't control love. If you want to keep her, you must learn how to give her more than fear. Fear keeps her safe," Taehyung answered coldly. Her eyes filled with sadness. "No fear will break her, and if she breaks, you will lose her. Even if she is still here." For a moment his mask cracked, but then he turned away. She smiled. "That's all that matters." But deep inside, those words felt empty.